Hey y'all, it's Nicole and we back with another reaction video. So today we're going to be reacting to Penguin Zero. Ava Kris Tyson situation is crazy. I've been seeing a few things about this link with Mr. Beast. I believe he's one of the people that works with Mr. Beast. I believe it's the trans woman, if I'm not mistaken. But I've been seeing there's a lot of things going on, maybe in the PDF file of range, if you catch my drift. So let's see if that's what this is regarding. I know Mr. Beast responded, so I'm reacting to that right after this. So check that video out after you watch this one, and let's just see what's going on.
Yesterday, Ava Kris Tyson of the Mr. Beast crew had a ton of evidence surface about horrible behavior with how they communicated with minors, as well as a past of really disgusting shit. A lot of people are calling the Season 7 writers of 2024 internet drama lazy because they're reusing a similar plotline. A lot of people drew comparisons to Dr. Disrespect recently being outed for talking inappropriately to a minor. There are tons of screenshots to showcase exactly what was being said to some.
I know I'm pausing early already, but I did see that about Dr. Disrespect. I've never heard of him, I've never watched him before until this was addressed. But like, for people to say, look, if this is, true, what Charlie's saying, that people are saying like, oh, they're just saying this because of Dr. Disrespect. No. The PDF files are getting exposed. Everybody is getting exposed. 2023 and 2024 has been the year of exposing motherfuckers. And here we are. No one is safe. We gonna find them all. So let's see what's going on with Miss Ava.
Someone who was between 13 and 14 years old at the time, and it's fucking gross. It's completely unacceptable. Some of them were just public tweets right under everyone's nose. So Ava Tyson was an adult at this point. Lava was a child. And saying things like, I posted some fire nudes for you, please no share, and then other shit like, but not $5, pathetic JK kissy face. They seem to communicate a lot, even sending Snapchats. So here's one that says, coming for America, and then goes on to talk about being in a group chat and everything. And I've seen a lot of people try and cope and deflect, saying like, oh, it's just edgy jokes, people are blowing this out of proportion.
Not with a kid.
What a bunch of fucking nonsense. That's a load of hooey. That's dirty barnacles. That's ridiculous. Under no circumstances should an adult be communicating with a child in any inappropriate manner whatsoever. Edgy jokes between an adult and a child are still fucking gross. That's not like the slam dunk defense that some people seem to think it is. Under no circumstances should an adult be in a group chat with a bunch of children sending coming for America pictures. Like, that's still bad. That's still horrible. That's still really fucking weird. From what I can tell, most of the screenshots and a lot of the compiled evidence comes from this YouTuber, Prism42. This seems to be where most of it started, and since this video dropped, there's been a lot more screenshots that have come out with all kinds of really bad things that were being said to or about minors. I've only shown a couple here, but there's quite a bit more, and they're all just as bad, if not worse. Like, for some reason, Ava Tyson had a habit of calling a 13 or 14-year-old daddy. Like, you can't just write that off as being like,
Daddy? As an adult, you're calling a minor at that time daddy. And people are making excuses for this person. Again, I just be going off what the video say. I don't know. I don't know what was said. I don't know what's going on. Daddy coming for a minute. You don't say these things to kids.
Like, quirky, inappropriate, edgy jokes that people are blowing out of proportion. That's unacceptable. It's indefensible. Now, the 13, 14-year-old in question for a lot of these messages is someone that has come forward to give their own accounts of the situation, and according to them, they don't believe that they were groomed or anything bad was done on the part of Ava Tyson or anything like that. And I'll just go ahead and give my take on it here. I talked about it on stream, and I'm not trying to be some kind of armchair psychologist, because I'm just, at the end of the day, a little reptile brain idiot.
And that's the thing, like, when you're a minor, when you're underage, it don't seem like grooming. Look, again, I just be speaking on how I feel. I can't say I was in a situation. I can't say that I was or anything like that. But that's the I don't want to call it the good thing, but that's how this gets. That's how this is something that happens so often without the underage mind noticing what's going on. Like, I think it's just like, oh, it's just whatever, nothing's really going on. But that's a part of the grooming. You're being groomed to feel like these things are okay when they're not. That's sort of how it goes. That's a part of it. But like Charlie was just saying, he's not no psychologist, psychiatrist, any of the things. But it sort of makes sense that somebody that was groomed wouldn't feel that they were groomed. That's kind of how it works, unfortunately.
But I really do feel like in a situation like this, it's very difficult to process just how inappropriate or unacceptable something was when you lived it. I imagine that it's very difficult to view this as the person that you communicated to so closely for so long was actually evil or doing things that were wrong. But in reality, no child should have this kind of relationship with an adult where you're joking about sending nudes to a minor, or making edgy jokes about coming for America. So while the person here might not feel like a victim, it really is completely unacceptable that Ava Tyson would be communicating with them like this. It really is, no matter how it's spun. Now, it is important to mention that right now, most of the evidence is screenshots, so I guess there is the chance that some could be faked, but some of them seem very hard to fake. Like, there's a video going through a Snapchat conversation with Ava. There's also confirmed things that were publicly tweeted from their account over the years, which I'll get to now. And it was also revealed that Ava Tyson had a history of being a Shadman enthusiast. Since all the tweets have been deleted, it makes it very difficult to find the times that they communicated with Shadman or talked about Shadman and the art. But I did find this from Mudahar's video, who went to the Wayback Machine and showcased this tweet. And Mudahar censored it because the character does not appear to be over the age of 18. For those of you that know that name, that might have just triggered a Winter Soldier moment in your brain with your eyes rolling in the back of your skull, because it is so foul. Shadman was an artist who drew child porn. Now, when you hear that, a lot of people think that you're talking about lolly or lolly hentai type shit, which is characters that look like little girls but are actually 5,000-year-old vampires. Like, that's the meme. Fucking sipping from their Mountain Dew going, uncultured swine. You see, it's not actually a real child. This is a victimless crime. This may look like a 4-year-old girl, but you don't understand the lore. She's actually coming from a sophisticated line of goblin ogres, and she is over 400 years old. So it's completely legal, and you're weird for thinking that it's weird. But with Shadman, he wasn't drawing lolly. He was drawing real children sexually. So one of the most infamous cases was when he drew Keemstar's 8-year-old daughter in a pornographic setting. That actual fucking lunatic drew porn of an 8-year-old girl. That's not hearsay or anything. That is something that actually happened. And you know what's even crazier? I talked about this on stream. A lot of people supported him. And you know...
Drew my daughter? Kris Tyson supported the cartoon CP artist Shadman that drew my daughter at age 8 in a sexual manner. This is a known fact. Privately, me and Kris Tyson even had a conversation about this roughly a month ago, as it should upset you. This is not misinformation. This is a fact. While there is a lot of transphobic BS that should be debunked, Kris Tyson was still a massive Shadman fan, even commissioning art from him, which made a cameo in one of Mr. Beast's videos. She is not as clean as a lot of y'all would like her to be. Somebody in the comments, this is just misinformation, there's no evidence she commissioned this piece. This is sick. To really be drawing kids like actual people in a sexual manner. I wasn't expecting this guy, but I don't know.
You know what's even crazier? I talked about this on stream. A lot of people supported him publicly. Like, a lot of people defended that. back when Shadman dropped that revolting dog shit, there was a lot of people that were pumping their fists saying, "Go Shadman! It's Keemstar, who cares? Doesn't matter, he deserves it anyway. Shadman, do you take requests? Can you do this person's underage daughter next?" He received applause for drawing child porn. Let that shit marinate for a moment. And so, anyway, Ava Tyson has publicly tweeted about Lolly. And in particular, there are tweets of Ava Tyson talking either to or about Shadman. A lot of the tweets are gone now because the Twitter account has been nuked, but there are archives of a lot of them. And one thing that still persists, and one thing that a lot of people have been showing, is that Ava Tyson may have actually commissioned a piece from Shadman, or at the very least, purchased a piece from Shadman. There's a clip from a Mr. Beast video where there is Shadman art hanging on the wall, belonging to Ava Tyson. I censored the close-up of the art for obvious reasons, but this is something that is irrefutable. The only question about Ava Tyson and Shadman's connection is whether or not a piece was commissioned or purchased. But at the very least, a piece was owned by Ava Tyson.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any wiggle room to just explain this away as some kind of innocent whoops-a-daisy moment of being ignorant of what the art was. With Ava Tyson having publicly talked about content and art like that, and then also owning a Shadman piece, I don't think it's some kind of coincidence. I
just have things to say that I probably shouldn't say, so I'm just not going to say it. I know it's a reaction video. I know that sounds crazy, but it's... Haven't y'all mama taught y'all if y'all don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it? That's kind of where I am.
Don't think it was an accident and they didn't know Shadman drew child porn. I really don't. And then yet another disturbing video surfaced where they had actually made a video a long time ago that linked to revenge porn of Jeanette McCurdy.
The story is she sent pictures to her boyfriend, her now ex-boyfriend, and he leaked them out. And but the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business.
Come on
but
now.
I know that people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it.
That's crazy. That's astonishing. Sharing revenge porn publicly and trying to spin it like, well, some people might want to see this, so for you degenerates, I posted the link in the description. If you want to check that out. It'd be weird to do that, and I'm not endorsing it. That's unhinged. Completely unhinged.
Yeah.
So all of this started to hit the mainstream. More and more people started sharing screenshots as well as other chat logs, all kinds of things, with a history of communicating inappropriately with or about minors. And in response, a couple hours ago, Ava Tyson did make a statement, and this is what was said. Okay. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health.
Okay, because I sort of saw like a tweet or something about this, and then somebody in the comments were like, because I saw Mr. Beast had responded, and he mentioned how they decided to remove Ava. So somebody in the comments were like, did Ava leave or was she removed? Which one is it? And I didn't know what was going on because I just saw Mr. Beast. I was like, don't you see it says that she was removed? But now it's kind of like contradicting like which one it was. So now I understand. I'm glad I didn't say nothing.
That is kind of a textbook non-apology. It doesn't address anything. It doesn't talk about anything. It's just like this blanket boilerplate statement about stepping away. There's no denial of anything, no claims that some of the information is false, made up, fabricated, a lie, a fib, a bunch of malarkey, nothing at all. You would really think that if any of the information was wrong or faked, that would be one of the first things that Ava Tyson would want to set the record straight on.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. Even if it was something like needing more time, I really feel like that would have been expressed in the statement, saying, need more time to talk about all of these things that are incorrect. But again, that's not there. So they're assumed to be all correct at this point. And they're indefensible, the things that have come out here. As I was rendering this video, Ava Tyson dropped more tweets claiming that no one was ever groomed, and then states that the victim vocally supported that that's false. I again, already told you my feelings on that. I really don't think a child who has this kind of relationship with an adult would ever really recognize just how inappropriate it was, because it became so normalized to them, which it never should be. It's a horrible thing, and there really is no excusing it in my eyes. Going further, there's an apology about unacceptable social media posts, and then saying that it was edgy jokes and that it was unacceptable humor, that it's like a thing of the past and it's been misconstrued into things that didn't happen, and then not wanting the accusations to impact hundreds of people who work at Mr. Beast, which is why Ava Tyson stepped away. I just don't think you can write off a lot of those social media posts as edgy jokes.
Look, I literally had my finger on the pause button to say that that's not no edgy joke. You don't talk with kids like that. What's wrong?
Or edgy humor when you actually owned art from an artist who draws child porn. That's not a joke anymore. Haha, bought some child porn art. Like, that's not exactly side-splitting comedy. Like, I don't really think you can just go ahead and hand wave that as being edgy and like old humor that you've grown from. And then some of the tweets about it and like requests, what's the joke? Like, what's the punchline of that? I really don't think you can just say, oh, it's just edgy jokes that are blown out of proportion. Sorry if people were offended by it. That just doesn't really work to me. As of right now, there's been no response from Mr. Beast or anyone else on the team about all of this. So it remains to be seen whether or not Jimmy or anyone else on the team knew about these things or what's going on there. But as of me making this video, there's still no response yet. So this whole situation is obviously horrible. And there's a little bit more I want to talk about here. And it's something I didn't even think I'd ever need to talk about, but I guess we've reached this point in the internet where...
I'm sorry, yeah, I was mad. At this point in time, Mr. Beats has responded again. I said I'm reacting to that next, so it'll be in the description, or I might put it in the cards. I haven't really did that, so just check that out right after this one. We're gonna keep up with this story because I don't know, I'm getting a little furious if I'm gonna be honest. So if I'm quiet, that's why. I really don't have nothing nice to say. I don't play about these things.
Or this is necessary. I've been being attacked on Twitter, just fucking dogpiled, about my ignoring the situation and refusing to speak on it, being too much of a coward to talk about all this.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me. And then people saying like, oh, where was the same energy for where is the same energy that you had for Dr. Disrespect here? And it's crazy that I even have to talk about this. So, last night during stream, this story was still breaking. Things were still coming out about this story. And I talked about it on stream last night. The same day all of these pieces of evidence were surfacing. I talked about it immediately. Once I became aware of what the evidence was out there and what the claims were and what was going on, I was talking about it right away. And I even posted a video that is highly edited and short, nice and concise, about the whole bare bones of the situation and my thoughts on it for the second channel, so that way even if you have the biggest brain rot and can't focus on a video for long, you can still finish that whole video and see just how bad this whole Ava Tyson situation is. So I talked about it immediately, but Twitter didn't see that video, and the ones that did wrote it off as, oh, he's only going to put this on a second channel because he's afraid to put it on his main channel. He didn't do that for Dr. Disrespect. He was like that with Dr. Disrespect. You are provably wrong. All you had to do was activate a few fucking neurons in your noodle. Check my Dr. Disrespect video. I posted it at, I think it was 9 p.m. on June 22nd. June 22nd is when my Dr. Disrespect video went up. The allegation against Dr. Disrespect was on June 21st. So what happened is, that allegation came out. I talked about it on stream. Dr. Disrespect made a statement as well the same day that I talked about on stream. Then the following day, almost a full 24 hours later, I made the video talking about it. And in this situation, it is the exact same timeline. I was talking about it as everything was unfolding. I even had a video go up on the second channel going over everything that was coming out, and now I'm making the full video about it 24 hours later. It's the exact same speed and same energy as the Dr. Disrespect situation. And the main person who started this lightning rod of accusations about me ducking it and refusing to address it is fucking Sneeko of all people.
Yo, look out, Moist Critical is not going to go talk about the Chris situation because he wants to have the Mr. Beast collab. Bro, you're going to talk about every other trending situation, Dr. Disrespect, Sneeko, anything that goes viral goes on your main channel. Chris, the associate of the biggest YouTube channel in the world, you do a 4-minute clip on your second channel.
They beef is so funny. I think that's when Charlie was showing off his mags. If y'all seen that, it was for Sneeko, I believe. So it's kind of
stop coping and be a journalist if you're going to be a journalist, or just say that you want to have the collab. Stop lying.
Jesus Christ, the fucking drool there is gonna drive me insane. I need to go put on the fucking bathrobe here and give him PTSD or something. What do you mean it is a 4-minute clip? Because I did that so people like you who don't pay attention long enough can see my take on it and also get the bare bones information of what makes it so horrible. That's the reason it's a 4-minute clip on the second channel. It was never going to be the only video I made talking about it. I was always going to make a full breakdown of this because it's bad.
I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, so then at the end with him going back and forth with Sneeko, that made it a little bit better. But like, I really just don't play about these things. Like, it's so sad that this stuff happens to kids, and most times, you know, like they don't understand that this is what you're doing to them, and you do it because you know you can, and you can potentially get away with it, and the kid will never tell because you tell them not to tell, and guess what, the kid's not going to tell you. You know, like, it makes sense. That's the reason why you're doing it, and you know it's wrong, and I hate that this is coming out, but it needs to. And also, I feel like I was kind of discussing this with somebody previously, like, we gotta figure out what to do with these type of people. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but like the PDF files, we gotta figure out what to do with them, because making the little toys that are like human size kids to use and stuff, or just the child corn that he was talking about in this video, I just still think that that's sick. Like, you shouldn't do those things, but also there's something wrong with them. So I just don't know. Maybe we can have discourse about that in the comments. Obviously, let's keep the comments respectful, and so we don't get flagged or anything. But what can we do for these type of people? They're not going to stop. It's been like this since the beginning of the time. They have a thing for people they shouldn't. It's pissing me off. So that's part one of this Ava Tyson situation. I'm about to react to the next one. Hopefully it don't piss me off more, but if y'all want to check that out, it'll be in the description. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.